Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiemon and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 134. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? In all honesty, I thought this chapter was fantastic. I thought this chapter was great in setting up the future of the series, as well as it really started to ask the question of what is Denji without Chainsaw Man? Because throughout it all in this entire story, we've seen that Denji, he has slowly become not just literally Chainsaw Man. He's embodied that persona. He himself, even when he transforms, he feels loved by people, and that's a part of his character now, that he is Chainsaw Man. So the question in this chapter is, what does it mean for Denji to stop being Chainsaw Man? Now, before I go any farther with this week's chapter, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Chainsaw Man as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter picks up in an interesting note, because we pick up where Denji is kind of just walking around by himself, and you see in the background just how people are discussing, the ongoing of Chainsaw Man and the Chainsaw Man church and all that whole thing with the cult. And we see that pretty much we see both sides. You see people praising it, and you see people also, hating it. People are saying that, it's a menace. Chainsaw Man should be stopped. He does as much damage as the devil, so he's not helping anybody. As well as one of them even goes as far as to say, like, well, Chainsaw Man, actually, could save our high school. So that could be really awesome. Wouldn't that be sick if Chainsaw Man saves everybody in our high school? Wouldn't it be rad? And you just see Denji kind of, lifeless. Because he's, you can picture him just thinking about everybody saying something about Chainsaw Man, but he can't speak out about it. He can't go out as Chainsaw Man and just have a press conference and be like, hey, listen up, guys. He can't do any of that, because at the end of the day, Yoshida's ultimatum to Denji was, hey, if you stop being Chainsaw Man, we'll spare Nayuta, but if you do continue pursuing that, then we will eliminate her, we'll kill her. And we know that Denji obviously does not want that to happen, and he's favoritizing that. And I think that that's a great character growth moment for Denji, putting himself behind and putting somebody else's happiness and well-being on top of himself. And I think that's fantastic, because we get to see Denji grow as a character and see that he's willing to put his wishes behind his aspirations and something that he loves, and being Chainsaw Man. He loves being that persona. He's willing to put that all away and hang it up for the safety and well-being of Nayuta. And I think that's a huge moment for Denji. That's huge character growth. And if you would have told me at the beginning of part 1 that Denji was going to do something like that, I would have told you that you were nuts. No, there's no way that this guy grows up to be that. But that's Fujimoto's writing, and he's a master at developing its characters. And I think that this chapter in particular really serves and show the growth of Denji as a character going forward. Now we continue from there, and we see that the church is talking on TV, and we see that Denji's with Nayuta and they're just vibing. And eventually Nayuta's like, why don't you transform into Chainsaw Man? Let's fight some demons. It's like, I can't do that. It's like, why not? It's like, Nayuta, I can't. He's just kind of breaks it down, I can't turn into Chainsaw Man, because if I do, they'll say that they'll eliminate you. You're a burden. I cannot risk that. I have people to save now. That is too much of a risk. And overall, he's just kind of saying, I'm living the best life I could ever wish for. Because if you look at how Denji started in part 1, he would have never thought that he would have a nice home with nice meals and love and people that love him. But he's experienced that, and I think that he's starting to realize maybe just being a regular person isn't that bad. Maybe this is what I should strive to be for life. I should just strive. Instead of putting my life on the line, I should just kind of live peacefully with Nayuta. And we see that Nayuta looks at Denji while he's saying all that, and she's like, are you sure that that's what you want? You're willing to just throw it all away for a simple life? Well, are you sure that'll make you happy though? And you start seeing Denji kind of experience an existential crisis, where he starts kind of saying to himself, he goes to the bathroom and just kind of talks to Pochita. And he, kind of explains hey, we're having a great time. We're living peacefully. Me and Nayuta are getting along, and I have a nice, house. We got some lovely pets, but that's enough, right? And I think Denji at the back of his mind, he's thinking is this all there is to life? And I think that's an interesting crossroads that Denji's at right now, because as humans ourselves, we dream about stuff, but the question is, okay, you do reach that dream. Do you just, hold on to it and that's it? or do you keep pursuing other dreams, other ambitions, or are you just happy with that one dream? And I think that's the question that Denji has to ask himself. Is just Nayuta and living a peaceful life enough for himself, or does he feel like he has to do more stuff? And I think that's very fascinating, because I personally don't know. I think that Denji right now is content with his choice, but is he going to be thinking like that for the rest of his life? That's a different question. People change, and I don't know if Denji needs to start realizing, like, maybe the life that he always wanted is there in front of him, but he's missing something. And I think that the thing that he's missing, as funny as it might seem, is that, a loved one. I think not in a non-platonic like Nayuta, something like that, like a little sister. I'm talking about love, as in, a girlfriend. And I think that's the missing key that he's looking for. I think he's searching for a loved one, somebody he can be intimate with. Obviously, as he said in one of those previous chapters, where he said that he wanted to do it. And I think that that's what he wants at the end of the day. He wants a human connection that is, a love interest. And I honestly think that Asa might fit that role perfectly, because we know that she's at a crossroads herself and she's searching for something like that. So I think that these two individuals could really help each other out, and find, and something beautiful might be able to be formed from them. Now, while all that is going down, eventually Denji turns on the TV, he checks on the news, he sees that, there's, a hot topic going down about the Chainsaw Man. You see that there's two oppositions. There's an older guy that's like, no, Chainsaw Man's a risk, and he hates the Chainsaw Man church. He's like, you guys are a bunch of delinquents, you guys should just, like, give it up. This is no playtime for you guys. Like, this is serious stuff. People are dying left and right. And on the retrospect, we see that it's the Chainsaw Man simp, and he's saying, like, no, actually, we're trained professionals, and we have a club in our high school, fighting devils, and why not? And I think we're all qualified. Even, the authorities know about this, and they're okay with it. So we already talked to them, so no worries about that. And the old guy's like, no, you guys don't understand. You guys are kids. Like, you guys don't know anything about this. And he's like, and you guys mumble all this rhetoric, like, as if Chainsaw Man himself said it. And he's like, oh, no, he did. And if you guys don't believe me, I can show you. I can actually speak to him right now. And you see this guy, like, just confident, like, yeah, I can just speed out Chainsaw Man. And Denji's like, what is he going on about? So Denji starts, like, looking around, and he's paying attention to the phone. He's like, is he gonna call me? Like, is he, like, because the guy did say, I'm gonna call Chainsaw Man. And he's like, I don't know about that. Like, he's like, so he keeps checking the phone, and the phone never rings. But what does happen is eventually a guy walks in, and he's like, hello, greetings, I'm Chainsaw Man. And we're like, whoa, who are you, dude? And so this moment, Denji's just pissed off. I was like, what is going down? And that's me as the audience too. I think we're all like, what is happening? Now, me personally, I'm thinking, like, who is this guy? Like, he just came in out of nowhere, and he's calling himself Chainsaw Man. Now, we know that Fami is scheming something in the back with the Chainsaw Man church, but the question is, what exactly? Because I myself don't know. And we see that this guy is kind of just saying, like, yeah, I'm doing this for the betterment of, mankind, Adam and Eve. And he's spilling all this BS, and Denji's, like, seeing through it. Like, he's like, dude, he's full of crap. No, that's not the reason I do this. Then he's like, Chainsaw Man would never say stuff like that. That's so lame. And he's just furious about the whole thing. He's disgusted by it. And you see that this guy just kind of, like, he's, pretending to be Chainsaw Man, obviously. Now, the question is, why exactly? I don't know, but we know that, like I said, Fami is plotting something with the Chainsaw Man church. Now, another question I wanted to bring up is this person the actual fake Chainsaw Man that we've seen, or is he just like a proxy, like somebody that's calling himself the Chainsaw Man, but he's not the Chainsaw Man, just kind of like a body so people can see, like, oh, that's Chainsaw Man, and point at him? Or is he actually the guy that, rescued Denji and Asa a couple of chapters ago? I don't know. And I honestly think that's something fascinating to look forward to in the future of the story. Now, what happens after all that is that Denji's just heartbroken, and you see him just break down, and he's like, that I'm a way better Chainsaw Man than he ever has been. And you see just kind of him, laying down, crying, and Nayuta just looks at him like sad. She realizes that this is tearing him apart. This is tearing him apart in the sense that somebody's taking all his glory, all the things that he's accomplished to have this reputation of Chainsaw Man, and somebody's being a poser. Somebody's pretending to be that and trying to take all the credit. And it's heartbreaking for Denji, because Denji, he loved being Chainsaw Man, and he loved all the attention, the admiration and why not, and it's being taken away from him. And I think that's, devastating. Like, that, this is so sad. And I'm really looking forward to see how Denji, resolves this issue, because is he going to transform back into Chainsaw Man and prove to the rest of the world, like, hey, no, I'm the real Chainsaw Man? And that's the real question. Is Denji going to take the initiative and go out and, take this person down and expose him? Or is he going to take the backseat and, for Nayuta's safety, not even try to attempt anything? But overall, I really love this chapter, and I cannot, wait to see where the story goes from here, because so far Fujimoto has been cooking 11 out of 10, 10 out of 10 chapters back to back to back. And I think this guy is just a genius, and I feel like, I don't know where the story's heading, and I think that's something fascinating and something to look forward to with any series. So with that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.